5 tips for helping your mindset for weight loss and weight management. Let's review them. Hello and welcome to Amanda Widener Wellness. My name's Amanda. I'm so excited to have you. On this channel, we talk about all things weight loss, weight management, tools like GLP-1s, fitness, nutrition, and everything in between. Today, we're going to go over my 5 tips for getting your mindset in a great place for weight loss and weight management. But before we go over those, I do have a disclaimer. I am not a doctor or a healthcare provider. And while I am a personal trainer and group fitness instructor, I am not your personal trainer or group fitness instructor. So please speak with your doctor and wellness team before making any changes to your diet, exercise, or medication regimen. Everything on this channel is based purely on my opinions and experiences. All right, so over the past year, I have worked really hard on my nutrition and my fitness, and with using the assistance of a tool called the GLP-1, I have managed to lose 104 pounds and counting. I'm very close to my maintenance goal, but I've had a really interesting journey, and I like to share some of the things that I've experienced that I thought others can benefit from. I have lost weight multiple times over the years, and I've always gained it back, but this time really feels different. And part of that has been a mindset shift with getting some things prioritized in my mind that have really helped set me up for success. And I wanted to share 5 of those tips with you. So the very first one is something many of us have heard of before, but I think it's important to go over before or during any wellness journey. It's nice to review and change some of these things over time, and that is setting SMART goals. So SMART, S-M-A-R-T, actually stands for the strategy of how you're going to set your goals so that you can achieve them in a really successful way. So S stands for specific. You want your goals to be a statement that is clear and says exactly how you're going to focus your efforts. So to be specific, your goals should answer who, what, when, where, and why, right? Who's going to lose the weight? I am. Who's going to help me? Who might hinder that? What am I going to do? I'm going to lose weight this year. When am I going to do it? I'm going to start today. Where am I going to do this? Everywhere, right? But I'm really going to focus at home in the kitchen and going to the gym. And why? What is your why? And that's the one thing a lot of people seem to get stuck on. Why, when you're being specific? Are you trying to achieve this wellness goal? Do you have other health indicators that you're really trying to overcome? Is it for aesthetics? I mean, that's okay if it is. Is it just because you want to set a good example for your family? Think about what your why is and revisit that on the days that feel extra hard. It can really help keep you motivated. The M in SMART goals stands for measurable. So you want your goals to be measurable so that you can track your progress. And that's really helpful when you feel like you've come to a point where you just can't go on anymore or you're not making any progress. It's nice to be able to go back and see, oh, I have done some work here. Something is changing. So this portion of your goals statement should answer the question, how much or how many? So how much weight do I want to lose? How many inches do I want to lose? How many weeks am I going to stay on this path? When I was setting my SMART goal, when it came to weight, I was really specific. You know, I was going to lose weight and I was going to do what I needed to at home and at the gym. And then making it measurable was very accessible at the beginning, right? Very achievable, which is the A in SMART goals. So I chose something that felt like I could do it. And then I changed that measurable section of the goal as I continued on. As I reached it, I changed it. Okay. So the next part of the SMART goal is A, which is achievable. Your goal should challenge you, but it shouldn't be so far out of reach that you're never going to get there, because all that's going to do is frustrate you. So don't set out in a goal of saying in 90 days, I'm going to lose 100 pounds, because that's never going to happen. And if it does, you should definitely see a doctor. But if your goal is over time, I want to get to a healthy BMI, and it's not, I want to do this in a year, it's in the next 90 days, I want to start exercising and tracking my food. That is specific, it's measurable, and it's achievable, right? So you've listed out 2 specific things that you can check back on and say, I did that and I achieved it, okay? The R in SMART goals is relevant. Does your goal matter to you? That's really important. You don't want to be setting goals that matter to somebody else, but they're kind of like, I don't care if I do it, right? Because otherwise, what's the point? It's not going to challenge you. You're not going to seek it. So think of the bigger picture of your life and how achieving these goals will benefit you as you set them. Make sure it's relevant to your life and where you want your life to go. And then the last part of a SMART goal is T, which is time bound. Set a time to it. So I was already saying that, right? In a year, I want to do this. In 90 days, I want to do that. So when I'm setting a SMART goal, I'm going to make a very clear and specific goal that is achievable, time bound, measurable. So I am going to track my food and go for a walk every day for the next 90 days. And in 90 days, I can sit down and say, did I track my food? Did I go for a walk every day? And if I didn't, I'm going to reevaluate and make a new goal. If I did all of that, I'm going to make it a little bit more challenging. My next goal is for the next 90 days, I'm going to track my food and meal plan, and I'm going to go for a walk every day for the next 90 days, right? So still kind of what I was doing, but I'm making just a little bit harder by meal planning on top of the others, right? Or maybe instead of going for the walk every day, I'm going to go for a walk every other day, and I'm going to go to the gym on the off days, right? Maybe you're going to add in a gym workout. So these are something that are measurable, achievable, and time bound, that 90 days, right? So it's really important that you set these straight so that you kind of know what you're working towards, and you can look back on them at a set time frame to see if you're achieving them. So those are SMART goals. So set those SMART goals. It's really going to help get your mind set to where you need it to be to feel successful. The next tip I have for your mindset is to change your perspective, okay? You're changing your whole life when you make a commitment to wellness. You can't keep doing the same things you were doing before and achieve what you're looking to achieve. Because if you could, you would have already done it, right? So change has to happen. So you want to change your perspective to kind of make small changes over time, right? So instead of saying, I'm going to keep living my life the way I want, it's, I'm going to keep living life the way I'm comfortable, but I'm going to make a small change that challenges me. I'm going to track my food, or I'm going to go for a walk every day, right? By changing your perspective slightly, it's going to allow space for you to achieve your goals in a way that is manageable to your daily life, right? So change that perspective. You can't keep doing things the exact same way. Someone once said that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and not seeing any results. I stand by that. So change that perspective slightly. Small changes over time lead to big changes in the long run. So a little change now can help you achieve your goals later. The next tip I have, number 3, is mindful eating. So we've talked about this in a couple of other videos, but well, I don't necessarily believe in intuitive eating for everybody. I know it works for others, or even sticking to a set meal plan or having to eat at specific times. Just be mindful of how you're eating. Be aware. One of the biggest success stories I have in my personal journey was that as I brought awareness to what I was eating every day, it was easy to make small changes that did not impact me very much in the beginning, so it felt really achievable. But in the long run, it had a big impact on my overall health. So an example of this is when I first started paying attention to what I was eating, I noticed, oh man, I'm using a lot of butter. There's a lot of calories in that. Instead of butter, let me use cooking spray. Or I really like using like ground beef in my chili and my spaghetti, but man, that's a lot of extra calories and a lot of extra fat. Maybe I'll switch to a lean ground turkey. That saved me a lot of calories and a lot of fat in my diet. And just those 2 small changes had very little flavor impact on my cooking, but the calorie changes had a big impact that helped me achieve my goals that much faster. So that's just a really great thing, to be aware of what you're consuming or how you're preparing your meals. It helps you be intentional. It helps you track and plan. And it's going to help you that if you do eat off plan, you can kind of see where you went askew on what your plan was, right? So be mindful of what you're consuming. If it helps you to track it, like sometimes I can't remember what I ate yesterday for lunch, so I like to put it in my Fitness Pal. I use the free version. I'm not sponsored by them. I just really like the app. But that way I can go back the next day and be like, oh yeah, I had that for lunch yesterday. No wonder I'm feeling a little bloated. Or I'm really hungry today. Why am I so hungry? Oh, I didn't eat as many calories yesterday as I normally do. So tracking really helps me kind of see what happened when I feel like I'm going off course in a specific day. A lot of times if I'm eating a whole lot more one day, it's that I either am working out a lot harder or the day before I didn't eat enough. And I can see that by looking back on what I've been tracking. Also planning, being mindful, bringing awareness to what I'm consuming and planning ahead allows me to avoid stopping at Chick-fil-A on the way home from a late night with the kids, right? If we have sports one night and we didn't plan what we're going to eat for dinner, Chick-fil-A is where we go. But instead of doing Chick-fil-A, if I planned ahead, I might already have a meal ready in the freezer, or I know what I'm going to be eating because I've already planned it and I bought all the ingredients for it and it's just waiting for me to cook at home. And cooking most of my weeknight meals only takes between 20 and 30 minutes. So I can either spend 15 minutes in the drive-thru or 20 minutes at home cooking something that is on plan for me. So being mindful and planning ahead are really going to help you here. Number 4 in setting that really great mindset is positive self-talk. Now, if this is something you haven't done before, it can feel kind of uncomfortable, a little strange, but it has huge benefits to us as humans. It's something that I've done with my daughter when I've seen that, in the past when she needed a boost in self-confidence. And it's something I've done with myself over the past year, especially when I came into like roadblocks or plateaus or moments when I just felt like I wasn't as successful as I wanted to be. I'm 40 and I don't lose weight at 40 the way that I did when I was in my 20s. And it doesn't matter how much I work in the fitness space and I understand nutrition, that is still a mental barrier for me. So in order to change my mindset and stay really positive and feel successful, I had to engage in positive self-talk. The best way to do this is out loud in front of a mirror. But if that makes you uncomfortable, you can say it in your head. But you want to tell yourself things that make you feel really confident and proud of yourself. So things like, I'm capable of reaching my weight loss goals. I am deserving of a healthy, happy body. I choose to eat food that's good for me. When I eat healthy, I feel good. I feel stronger. When I exercise, I feel more powerful, right? These are all things that are really going to help you set that mindset to keep going, even when you might be coming up to obstacles that could try to push you away from reaching those goals. So if you're struggling, take a moment to look in the mirror and say either out loud or to yourself a few words that really motivate you and feel like you're doing something successful because you're worthy of feeling that way. And then number 5 in my mindset shift tips is examining your self-limiting thoughts. We all have these, we're human, right? So self-limiting thoughts are those thoughts that you have where, you think you're not good enough, you're not measuring up. It's okay to have these. That's part of the human experience. But you want to notice these thoughts and be aware of them. You want to kind of note when they came up, why they came up. Is there a pattern to you having these thoughts? Is there a specific situation that you're in or a person that you're around when these occur? All of these things and being aware of these thoughts help you to overcome them when they arise, right? So how do they make you feel? Why are you allowing them to have that power over yourself? Another kind of thing to think about when you're having these self-limiting thoughts, these thoughts that I'm not good enough, I don't measure up, I'm never going to achieve these goals, I might as well just give up. Accept that those thoughts exist. It's part of the human experience. A year in and 104 pounds down, I still have these thoughts sometimes where I think I'm not measuring up. I don't, my body doesn't look the way I want it to. I'm not achieving my goals fast enough. I'm not getting, I'm not increasing the muscles and the weights in the gym as fast as I thought I would. We all have these and that's okay. Accept it and acknowledge it. Don't try to change or suppress them. They're not going to go away. You can't deny these away. They're going to keep coming. But allowing this gives you a space to say, I'm watching my thoughts, right? I know that they're going to happen. I kind of noticed a pattern as to when they're occurring. I accept that I have these thoughts and now I'm going to move forward. So acknowledge that they happen, but don't believe the thoughts, right? Don't identify with them. They are not who you are. It's just a thought. It's a fleeting moment. We've all had that thought where we've looked in the mirror and thought, ooh, I don't look very good today. And then 10 minutes later, you can look in the mirror and be like, wow, I look amazing, right? It's a fleeting thought. It's just something that you quickly had, and it's okay to push that away, acknowledge that you had it, and kind of evaluate why it crept up, and then know that that's not who you are, right? They're not true facts. It's just a thought. Thoughts don't hold power over you. You hold power over you. And then commit to an action to fight that thought. So let's say you're suddenly wanting to, you're suddenly wanting to have like a huge Christmas style meal with all like multiple courses and a big dessert afterwards. Acknowledge that you're having this thought, right? It's something that's going to try to throw you off of your goal. You can answer with, I know I'm having this thought. I am not weak. I can have some of what I really want. but I don't have to indulge in everything that I'm thinking of, right? Or if you are having a moment where you're thinking, I might as well just throw in the towel because the scale isn't where I want it to be this week. Acknowledge that you had it and then commit to an action instead of fighting it. I can do this. I am fully capable of getting past this. I know that I have this, but I'm not weak, so I'm not going to give up. Maybe call a friend. Ask that friend, I'm having this thought. I need some support. Have you noticed that I've been making these changes? Or go for a walk and clear your head. Or do something else that keeps your mind busy and kind of distracts you away from it. But remember that it is just a thought and it does not define you. Those self-limiting thoughts are just a moment in time and it will go away. And then you can positive self-talk yourself into going back to mindful eating, changing your perspective, and keeping up with your SMART goals. So those are my 5 tips for helping with your mindset for weight loss and weight management. I hope you find them helpful. If you have any tips that can help you with your mindset, put them in the comments below. I love to read them. And I hope that you will like and subscribe so that you don't miss the next video. Thanks again, and I hope to see you next time.